It's time for business news with Richard Southern. Ontario landlords will be able to start charging more for rent next year. Now, the big question, of course, is how much?
Yeah, this is just great. I mean, because how much do we pay for rent already, David? I mean, my goodness. But yeah, we got in today from the Ford government the how much landlords are going to be able to jack it up next year. 2.5% is the answer. Landlords will be able to increase rent by up to a maximum of 2.5%. So says Housing Minister Steve Clark. That is the same as this year. The government points out that it's below inflation, they say, and that is true. But it's also going to mean a lot more money for people who are stretched thin as it is. Of course, the cap doesn't apply to rental units first occupied after November 15th, 2018. Landlords can jack those rents up as much as they like. The NDP out talking about this today. They say the rent increase is going to make the housing affordability crisis even worse. David.
Well, there you go. Now, I know most economists, if you remember, were predicting that we were going to run into a recession this year. That doesn't seem to have fully materialized just yet, Richard, does it?
Yeah, not the first time economists have been wrong about things. Well, we'll see if hopefully they're wrong about this. Bank of Canada did a big survey today, and they asked individuals and businesses, do you think a recession is coming? 50% of Canadians say they believe one is coming, so that's kind of split. It's down from earlier in the year. A third of businesses are planning for a recession. That's also down from when they were asked earlier in the year. Stats Canada released GDP numbers today, and it showed the economy regaining some momentum in the second quarter. March GDP revised 0.1% higher. April GDP was flat. Got to mention the stock markets really quickly, because would you believe it, David? We closed out the first half of the year today. First 6 months of the year was a great one for the NASDAQ, which surged almost 32% through the first half of the year. S&P up 15%, the TSX up 4%. Not too shabby on the stock markets.
No, not at all. There's also one industry that's not doing too shabby either this year. What is it, the thrifting business?
Have you ever been to Value Village?
Of course.
My mom is a huge fan. She's always telling me all the things she finds, the great finds at Value Village. And this company has gone public on Wall Street. And it was an anything but thrifty IPO. Investors piled in to this company, which is called Savers Value Village, went public on the NASDAQ under ticker symbol SVV, surged 27% in its debut yesterday, up another 3.4% today to $23.70. The Washington-based company started with a single thrift shop in San Francisco in 1954, now has 317 stores with annual profits of more than $84 million. A big part of the business comes from Canada. 153 stores here, and they account for 45% of profits. And of course, thrifting has gotten so popular now, David, because inflation has everything costing more, and everyone's looking for a bargain.